Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:03. Becky, could I have roll call, please?
Sarah Turner,
Present.
Neil Patel,
Present, able, and willing.
Andrew Sandoval,
Here.
Elva Ariano.
Here.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Ready? Salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask for approval of the board agenda, but I wanted to clarify, we do need to amend the personnel action, the appointments and resignations. Nadine Dermody, her resignation is going to be effective August 2nd rather than July 31st, as it says in the agenda. So could I have a motion to approve as amended?
So motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
That's me. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano.
Aye.
Jacob Sandoval is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
In a moment, we're going to be going into closed session. Do we have any public comment regarding closed session items?
One moment, please. Thank you. I apologize. Sorry, I missed that. There we go.
So just to clarify, while Becky's just double checking, we don't have any public comment. The closed session items are going to be under 2.1, potential litigation, 2.2, public employee appointment and employment, 2.3, liability claims, and 2.4, conference with labor negotiators. So we're just double checking that we don't have any public comment regarding any of those items.
There is no public comment.
Okay, so 3.1, no public comment regarding closed session items. 4.1, can I have a motion to adjourn to closed session?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano.
Aye.
Jacob Sandoval is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. We're going to adjourn to closed session at 5:07. We will be returning for open session at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to reconvene back into open session at 6:25 to report out. During closed session, the board took action on item 2.3, liability claims. The board voted to reject the claim from Christina Quintero against the district. The vote was 5-0. In just a minute, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda. Just to clarify for people who are watching, when we opened up before closed session publicly, we did amend the agenda, so just changed a date on one of the appointments and resignations. So is Jacob Sandoval with us now? Okay. So we have reconvened back into open session. 5.1, can I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval. Elva Ariano.
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Neil Patel.
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
And just to clarify, Jacob Sandoval is joining us remotely, and we did, at a previous meeting, talk about our procedures for when people are joining us remotely. So moving on to 6.1, Santa Rita Teachers Association.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board and school district members. My name is Danny Crouch. I am the SRTA secretary, and summer's over. Summer is over. We have many of our teachers going to be doing the optional professional development this Thursday and Friday before all our teachers report back in Monday, August 1st, getting the ball rolling for when our students come on August 3rd. We're getting ready. We're working on our rooms, and we have professional development on Monday. We've got Keenan training. We've got our active shooter training, Cognito training. So we're going to be busy doing our trainings on Monday and preparing our classrooms on Tuesday, meeting with principals and staff, all that lovely welcome back stuff. We were given the 5-year plan for our district, and it was super exciting to look through and see the plans for the district, showing it to teachers. We've gotten a lot of feedback. We had 2 representatives on the committee now, but seeing these plans, we've gotten a lot more feedback from other teachers, and so we're excited to see that and share that with Victor and everyone else, and hopefully get any changes that are needed. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to a wonderful new school year. Thank you.
Thank you. 6.2, CSEA. Is there a CSEA representative here this evening? Okay, we're going to go on. 6.3, Superintendent's Cabinet, starting with Mr. Sandoval.
And clean up the sites. Luckily, we have some good help, and I'm hoping to have everything wrapped up hopefully by Tuesday. So wish me luck. Thank you. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
So each teacher is going to have a room ready and ready to teach with all the equipment installed by Wednesday?
The equipment in regards to what in the classroom? I'm sorry.
I'm just getting the room prepared for instruction.
Yeah, definitely. I thought the one that we were going to be really late on was La Jolla, but we, as of today, this morning, or this afternoon, we have 2 rooms left to deep clean, and we're ready to go. So
have we resolved all the water and power issues at GV?
No, we haven't, but we started on the repairs for the electrical. The water is up and running. It was repaired, but hopefully by Friday we should have activation. Solely because we had electrical wiring underground that we didn't know was arcing, and basically was causing a problem with the circuitry at the GB library. But like I said, wish me luck. We'll have that wrapped up and running.
Thank you.
Kitchen.
The GB kitchen is actually almost 98% done. So right now we're just doing the punch list, touch ups here, touch ups there. Again, the only thing that's going to lack in that kitchen is the stove, 8-burner stove, and the ovens, which fall right underneath the Ansel system. But hopefully we'll have those in about a week and a half from now, and we'll have them installed as soon as possible.
When do you project potentially that kitchen will be able to be used?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Oh, sorry. I said, when do you project that that kitchen will be able to be used? I said, when do you think the kitchen will be able to be used by staff?
It's going to be used on the first day. I've been coordinating with Chuck,
Okay.
and we're going to satellite most of the hot meals. The warming trays, cooling trays are all set, ready to go. So I think there's not going to be a hiccup, but it's going to be a little tougher than being able to cook and bake inside that kitchen. Other than that, everything else is running.
Okay. Well, that's pretty exciting, I'm sure, for Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And speaking of Chuck, he is next up on our list.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Before I get into mine, just to touch up on what Victor just said. So we do have an extra oven. So as long as it's in working order, we will be able to cook from an oven in that kitchen and serve in that kitchen. We will not have a stove, of course. Prior to the renovation project, anything that needed to be done on the stove, we would do here in the central kitchen and send it over there. So we would mirror that prior to the renovation. So with that said, the first thing I want to do is congratulate David Pedroza. Last year, David was he had a temporary position as a driver, and he would help out with the extra deliveries to Galvin View. At the end of last school year, we had a need for filling our part-time position, and thanks to his experience helping with the GB project, he's a great fit. So he'll be in that position starting this school year. And the other item I had was this week, Jose Valdez, our full-time delivery driver, has spent a good portion of the week going to all the sites, checking equipment, making sure refrigerators are running so we don't have any surprises on August 3rd. Today, with the help of the custodial staff at GB and Santa Rita, we were able to move one of the refrigerators that came out of GB before the project. Santa Rita had a fridge that was down. The cost of that repair was going to be about $4,700. A new one is about $5,500. So we didn't see the point in repairing it. Instead, we were able to utilize that older equipment, it's not older, it was just pre-used equipment, and took it over to Santa Rita and got it plugged in today. So we'll check on it tomorrow and make sure it's still running, and we should be good to go.
Thank you. Any questions? Good luck getting ready for the countdown is on. Okay, going over to Chief Business Officer Rosa Zamudio. Rosa's not present tonight. Okay. Director of Special Education and Student Services, Melanie Grande.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. It has been a whirlwind of a few weeks. We did administrator training last week, had a really successful 3 days with our leaders. We did new teacher orientation today and yesterday. Becky did a beautiful job running that, and I was able to meet with our new SPED hires some of our SLPs as well as our special education teachers and spend about 2 solid hours with them going over IEPs, best practices around note taking, and just answering questions and troubleshooting things that have come up in the last couple days. So very nice to meet all them. Really excited for the good work they're going to do across our district. We have been hiring a lot. So still working on paraprofessional positions as well as a speech and language position, assigning occupational therapy therapists to certain spots, and just working on caseloads across our district. Professional development, we're doing our second safety care tomorrow and Friday. So going to be here bright and early for the whole day doing that. So really excited to get our next group of folks trained. And again, we're almost, as of Friday afternoon, we'll have most of our teams trained. There's a couple people that we're unfortunately going to miss due to illness. So we will be planning an additional training later in August. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Just keep on doing the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you, Melanie. Director of Parent, Family, and Community Engagement, Summer, it's you.
Good evening. I've been doing nothing the last couple weeks, just hanging out. No, I'm just kidding. As everybody shared, it's been a busy few weeks here in the Santa Rita Union School District, doing some really great work. The last couple of weeks, we've really been focusing on getting ready for the professional development that Melanie shared with you. Today, I had the opportunity to work with our new teachers around family engagement and setting the stage for family engagement. As many of you know, I teach a class for CSUMB in family engagement, and so I told everybody this morning, like, put your seatbelts on because it's a term in 90 minutes. Like, that was our goal. So we went through a semester of material in 90 minutes. I'm not sure that we can remember after that, but it was a great session, and it's always nice to work with new staff coming into our district, 3 of which are former students of mine from kindergarten. So it's always nice to see them come back home and serve our community again. And then together, Donna and I have spent this kind of combined thing. We spent the last several weeks preparing for our active crisis, active shooter response training with Mike Kimball and his team. This past weekend, we had the opportunity to kind of get together with his team and really see the work that happens behind the scene in preparing that team not to deliver the active shooter piece of it, but how to support the staff in that process and really understanding the emotions that come with that. And so I was really honored to see that Mike was committed to doing that work, to understanding that it's not about just going through a training, but it's understanding about the weight of that training. And so it made me take a breath to know that the guys coming in to do this work are understanding of what that is. And so I thank Mike and his team for that. And then we were able to bring our partner districts in with Washington Union School District, the other small districts, and Spreckles to join us for our tabletop discussions. And it's always nice to be able to have that collaboration and learn from others, as well as open our doors to opportunity with them as well. So we were excited to have that happen and then moving into the next round over the next couple of days. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you, and thank you for all the incredible work that's happening. I really appreciate it. Moving on, Director of Curriculum Instruction.
Mine works. That's really cool. Thank you, and I'm gonna come back to Mike in a second, but want to shout out to, we have 2 paras in our district that are now teachers. Yesterday and today were their first teacher orientation day, and Amber Paluzinski and Rowena Robante have been with us for quite a few years. One was working at Santa Rita and helped at summer school. The other one was a para for me when I was at Gavilan View, and said to me one day, I think I'm going to go to the MPC. And it was a program that came through our district, and she did all the years. And I felt like we were just proud, like, oh, they're first-year teachers, and they've been with us all this time. So very, very exciting to see them come through. new teacher orientation. I want to shout out to all of our academic coaches. Wow, they came in this week and helped do presentations, classroom management presentations, other professional developments. Our ed tech, Krisha joined in with our ed tech presentation, and with Karen Yoder, our Tectosa. We videotaped some of our professional development presentations so that if we hire tomorrow or next week, we can come back to those presentations, iReady presentations as well. So that's really great. Our optional PD days start tomorrow. A diverse opportunity from behavior flip to iReady. We have some solution tree PLC presenters that we've contracted out with that is going to be very exciting, along with your safety care training. And those will be going on tomorrow and Friday. And just exciting things that are happening, and really just exciting to have Krisha here. Last week she was at the AVID conference, and now we're with 5 of our other teachers and really bringing that, reinvigorating that. And shout out to Nadine Dermody and all the things in the work she's done with the VLP program, and Karen Yoder. And I want to also thank Mike for coming Monday, day of the week it is, for our admin training. And also Andrew Sandoval participated in that with our sister districts. And thank you for our sister districts for participating with us. It was San Bernardino and Washington. So it was nice to have them with us. And Mike, if you want to say anything to the board about your program, I really thank you and your team for joining our programs or bringing your programs to us.
Very much. It's been a long time in development. We've been doing this work for more than 15 years, traveling around the country.
That would be helpful. I think if you could come to the podium, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be here, and an honor, a pleasure to work with your school district, because this is our community, and our kids and our grandkids go to school in this area, and we grew up in this area. I used to play over here in the fields and when I was a kid, and got chased out and those types of things. But this work has been a long time development for us. We've been doing this for more than 15 years with schools. I've actually been working in school safety since 1980. And we've been working on the law enforcement side since, the early 90s, working with our law enforcement partners. And we worked for a little while with our military partners. And then we came back to work more with our schools back in about 2004, 2005. So over COVID, we took that opportunity to develop a lot more in the social emotional and to be safe and to make sure that we have a program that is going to meet the needs of the schools, meet the needs of the parents, meet the needs of the kids, meet the needs of migrant education, be in several languages, and really empower them with the utmost not only respect for their, not knowing what their triggers are, but also knowing that this material is hard for anybody to think about. And the greater purpose for us is we are a safety training company. A lot of people look at us as just the active shooter company. And I was explaining to somebody on the break or before our session today that there's so much more that we teach on implicit bias and leadership and communicative intelligence and emotional intelligence and all the variations under that. So we are happy, and we look to working a long-term relationship with our partners. And in particular, we're excited to work with your school district. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, Mike, before you leave. I didn't want you to have driven all this way for just that.
Yes, sir.
No, originally I was going to give my opinion of our staff's awesomeness during this process. But could you share a little bit about I'm assuming you also think it's well, but how well we were able to have real honest conversations and how well we all collaborated. Could you share a little bit about that?
It was phenomenal. So we haven't, we've been traveling all over the state of California and across the United States. I was sharing that with a couple of the other people. So I've worked in New York on this material, Indiana, Montana, Washington, state of Washington, all over the place. And the response that we had from your team and your school in particular, there's been a couple in this area, but in particular your school, was absolutely phenomenal. My team went away on a high that I haven't, and they were discussing, they're like, why is this so different than some of the other schools that we've worked with? And I think a lot is that you all did a great job of preparing your people to come with open minds and open hearts. You put in the work, you shared, and you were willing to be vulnerable, and you were willing to put trust in us. And we put trust in you, and we recognized that trust, and we didn't want to violate that trust, so we worked with you on that. And it just turned and blossomed, and it was so interesting to see. And we're discussing this about 2 hours in of our 4-hour session, there was this change. And the change was you folks took over. You folks did the work. We almost were able to just step back and just watch it happen. And it was just such a great experience for my team to see and experience, and to watch how well you folks work together and collaborate together and are willing to dig down and say, well, respectfully, I disagree with you, but here's why. And it was just a great, great experience. And we felt there was a lot of growth in the room. And we also, as a team, grew with your people, with your team.
I knew you could say that way better than me. No, it was really eye-opening, and I had opportunity to partner with Donna, and we were able to have real conversations as well as the other districts, and people were able to be vulnerable in some sensitive topics. And anyways, I just thank you for that. And I think one of the things that biggest takeaways is that it's not just the training; it's going to be a long-term partnership. But I sincerely appreciate it. It was, since this was my first step into it, it was a big weight to hear, but the good thing is that we've taken some serious steps in working with your company, and our staff I think you guys are all awesome. And I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic that we'll work towards a common goal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to move to Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Thank you. I could probably echo what my colleagues have said, but I'll move on to what my department has been very focused on, and that's hiring. And I can't compliment my team enough. Charlotte and Ashley and Celeste have really made a lot of movement in the last couple of weeks. They are on top of things, getting people hired as quickly as possible, responding to those resignations, and communicating with all of our admin. So I really appreciate them. We're also monitoring enrollment just to make sure that our projections are in alignment with the students we have, and we'll be sure to make any adjustments as needed. And Donna, Melanie, and I have been meeting with our middle school principals, looking at what teachers are being assigned to teach, monitoring that, and looking at the placement of students and working collaboratively with them on that. And I think that sums it up. That sums it up. No, I do think the new teacher orientation these last couple of days really was phenomenal. I'm thankful for the teacher leaders who supported that, as well as our directors who took different sessions, and it seemed like it was a really valuable experience for our new hires. We had over 30 of them in this room today and yesterday, so it was really exciting. Thank you.
Any board questions or comments? Thank you. So we're going to move to 6.4, board and superintendent. So we're going to start with Andrew Sandoval.
Thank you. I just want to commend the teachers and the staff for awesome summer school. My kids enjoyed it. Their friends enjoyed it. We had some of them over recently, and everyone just raved about it in so many different opportunities. I think one of my sons was doing line dancing, but with a twist, and Spanish, and I just think all the staff did great, and everybody, fantastic job on summer school.
Thank you. Neil Patel?
2 comments. One is, well, I was just going to reiterate what you just said. I was very appreciative from the response I'm hearing from parents for our summer school program. there's a huge need for our students to connect and reconnect with each other and work with, play, if you will. I think that's a huge essential component. And we've kind of lost sight of that over the years. But I'm glad that our district is providing worthwhile, interesting activities with a learning component to it, And so, like you said, with line dancing or whatever it may be, it's building that confidence, building that internal emotional development. So I really appreciate all the teachers and staff for all you contributed for summer school. The second point I want to make is I want to thank all the directors and teachers and staff for preparing. On August 3rd, like it or not, everyone showed up, and everyone has to be there and everyone has to be prepared. And it's a huge battle, to prepare for, because they're coming. And so I want to thank everyone from food services, MOT, all the way to hiring the teachers, developing community outreach. It's a huge effort. I mean, I'm at the high school end and I kind of see it, but I can just imagine how much, more it is here, So I want to thank everyone for getting ready and preparing for this awesome new year. I'm really hoping that this will be the year of getting past recovery, and going forward towards more development and growth. And so I think it'll be a combination of both, but thank you very much once again.
Miss Ariano?
Yes, I just want, I don't have very much I didn't participate into too much, but I do want to wish all the staff, the administrators, directors, a very successful school year, especially the children. I know that it's been very hard during the past couple of years, and I'm just hoping that everything goes smoother. What I see is a lot of team effort from the directors to administrators to teachers, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm just hoping you guys have a very good school year. But thank you for all that you do and for this district, because this district is one of the best in Salinas, I think, anyway. So thank you and good luck. Have a great year.
I'm next on the agenda. I just wanted to say specifically thank you to Melissa and Becky, who dealt with my many phone calls in the past 2 weeks and handled all of those issues with poise. And then I want to say a thank you to Nadine. We've been blessed to have you. And the entire time that you've been here, it has been a roller coaster that had nothing to do with you being here, but just happened to be the time that we were in. And I just really appreciate the love and support that you gave to the kids all the way through. So thank you. Going to Jacob Sandoval.
I just want to say, well, thank you to the staff, but also welcome to the new hirees, the new principals, assistant principals. Just welcome to the Santa Rita family. I'm excited, another year post-COVID that we're starting to see growth and looking forward to visiting the schools and getting to know the
Later, let us know, because it's kind of cut out the sound. Melissa?
Thank you. It's really strange to be joining you from this side of the table or the screen. It feels unusual, and it's been a moment since we've had to do this. I'm sure Chuck and Victor are pretty well versed in this, and so they're like, stop struggling. I want to thank all of our directors and our assistant superintendent. The last 2 weeks have been a whirlwind, but a very necessary whirlwind. Last week, we had 3 full jam-packed days with our site leadership and district leadership together. We spent a lot of time just talking about keeping our initiatives narrow, but going deep with them, and so keep the number small but do them really well. and really excited to continue getting to know our new administrators and watching them engage with their assistant principals and build those teams. And then with their academic coaches, it's looking to be a really exciting school year. And last but not least, I want to wish Nadine Dermody a fond goodbye as she heads on to her next journey. But we are lucky that she's not going too far away and may well still be working with us in some capacity when people move over to neighboring positions. And so we wish her a fond farewell from Santa Rita, and I am eternally grateful for all that she's done.
Thank you. I'm going to move to 7.1 and 7.2 public comment. Did we receive any public comment to the public comment email?
No, we did not.
Is there any public comment from the board on either agenda or, from the crowd, from all of our many people here in the crowd? Any public comment? Okay. Then we're going to move on. And as always, if someone wants to comment as the meeting progresses, please let us know. Okay, moving to business. 8.1, approval of a 1-year agreement with Mission Linen for linen service. This is Chuck's item.
Thank you. Yes, for our department, each year we have to go out and get quotes, and we were with Mission Linen for years. Unfortunately, last year they did not win, in terms of having the lowest quote. This year they did, so we're happy to be back with Mission Linen. They've taken great care of us over the years, so it's just an approval for a 1-year agreement.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
8.2, approval of facilities 5-year plan. And just for the audience here and at home, we did have a specific meeting about this, our previous meeting. So we've talked about this in public extensively. And as Danny mentioned earlier, that the draft information has gone out to the sites as well.
Oh, just also to clarify,
I have a
Victor
couple
said
comments.
that it was like a living document. So 'cause I know Danny had mentioned, the teachers had some feedback. So just wanted to also reiterate that.
It's more of a framework, yeah?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Victor, did you want to make any comments before we move?
I just want to reiterate what Board Member Sandoval said. It's a living document. We could amend it as we go, and when we find that it's needed. So this is just a formal approval, just to get started and get going on something like this. So that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. And I wanted to add, this is something that the board has talked about, but I don't believe that we addressed it when we discussed the draft. That in here we had talked about doing some playground replacements over time. And my hope is that as we do that, we can make sure that they're inclusive so that all of our students have access when we put in a new facility. And with that, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
I have a couple of comments on some teacher had emailed me and just wanted to clarify what Victor had said, that it is a living document. And also, if you can just share again, Victor, I think Sarah had asked this question last time, as far as on La Jolla, as far as changing the facing of the office, I guess, what was the thinking behind that? Just so we can.
On the master plan, what we have is the moving or the addition of new facilities for the MCOE program on the one side where we could actually have some room. And that would actually build a caveat for the rest of the phases of what we're talking about, the addition of a 2-story building, replacement of all 12 portables that have been outdated. Of course, underground facilities, stuff that you won't see right away, but that would be like the primary first phase, second and third phase on that.
Question was, after assuming we approve it, when would I guess the first phase of the first changes kind of take place?
I think that's going to be a coordination between, SRUSD and the MCOE department. Now that it's approved, we're allowed to really kind of talk about it when it's approved by you. And then we could actually, start coordinating that effort, whatever that is. And hopefully it can happen really soon. So if that happens within a year, then the following year, we can start with phase 1 of our plan.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. Good night.
You're welcome.
Vote aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye, and I'm really excited.
Motion passes 5-0.
9.1, approval of local assignment options for 2022-2023 school year. And this is, I don't know if Becky or Melissa's gonna.
I can present.
Okay, thank you.
So per ed code, the board has a local authority to approve assignments for qualifying teachers. And we have 2 teachers who meet qualifications for departmentalized subjects. Claudia Inzunza to teach departmentalized math at JGMS, and she's agreed to do so. And Holly Ann Isaac has met the qualifications to teach departmentalized art at JGMS and has agreed to do so. So these assignments would be under your approval for the 22-23 school year.
Any questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
9.2, approval of new job description for human resources analyst.
Thank you. This job description is for a new position that would be within the Human Resources Department, performing more complex HR functions than an HR specialist, but not at the level of management where they're supervising other employees. And so there is a description here outlining some of those functions as well as the draft job description for your approval.
Thank you. Any questions? Could I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
9.3, approval of new position for human resources analyst.
And you know my routine now with these job description and FTE. So for your consideration is an approval for 1.0 FTE for a position of human resources analyst. And at this time, we would anticipate this position replacing the regular HR specialist because we do still have an HR specialist COVID-19 in the department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. 9.4, approval of Frisk professional development training.
Thank you. This is a training that was delivered for our administrators last week during our 3 days of professional development. We had been talking about having a formal training for employee performance documentation, and Melanie had a great resource for that, someone that she had trained with and had a connection with. And so she was able to obtain this contract for Frisk training. There will also be a follow-up session at an upcoming principals meeting in August to talk about not only the documentation, but how do you frame the meeting with the employee to coach them up.
Thank you. Any questions? Because I've had Frisk training, the only other thing that I would recommend is possibly meeting with all of your union heads and walking them through the process so that they're prepared, so that they have an understanding. And the thing I like about the process. It's really clear and everybody understands what is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys did the training.
It is the format that we've been using. We just haven't had an official training in several years, so our reps have seen it.
Move to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel. Yeah, you
I
don't.
kind of look like Diego sometimes.
You don't.
But yeah, aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
9.5, approval of Keenan Safe Schools Training Program.
Thank you. This is the platform that we have used for many years for some of our mandated trainings, including mandated reporter, bloodborne pathogens, and sexual harassment. And so this is a renewal of that agreement.
I think Keenan does a great job providing the information, assessment, et cetera, and certification. So with that, unless there's any question, I'd motion to approve.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. 10.1, approval of special education consultation contract.
Perfect. Is this going to work? Yes, it is. This is a contract for a retired associate superintendent of special education to come in and support the administrative staff for special ed. Really working with my coordinator and building capacity and just growing in that role. She's been a mentor when I was originally hired in Monterey like 15 years ago, so I'm really excited. She also mentored me in my director role a couple years ago. So I'm really excited to bring this contract to you.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
10.2, approval of contract for a licensed vocational nurse.
Perfect. So this is actually a renewal. This employee's been with us all year and just really done a phenomenal job helping us with COVID testing as well as supporting our district nurse. He also worked summer school for us and I almost talked to him daily. He did switch contractors, so you'll see a different contractor, but it's the same LVN.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. 10.3, approval of 2 contracts with Soliant for registered behavior technicians.
Perfect. So this is a contract, just like it sounds, for 2 registered behavior technicians supporting some of our special day classrooms. And these employees have been with us this year, and we're moving forward with them continuing with us.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. 12.1, approval of contract with Kimball and Associates, site safety and threat assessment.
Thank you. And Mike is still here, so if you have any questions, he's here for any questions. This is a second contract with Kimball and Associates for the threat assessments, the deep and comprehensive site and safety threat assessments, providing the security analysis and a comprehensive review so that we can really analyze and provide the security on our facilities that we need and embed those actions as needed. And Mike, if you have any questions, Mike is here to answer any of those questions.
Any board questions? I just want to say thank you, and security is the beginning. That's the first thing, and then everything else flows from there. So if I could get a motion?
So motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
13.1, approval of resolution 22.07.21, ordering an election to authorize the issuance of school bonds of School Facilities Improvement District number 2022-1.
Thank you. This is our next step in pursuing putting a school facilities improvement bond on the November election. And so it's sort of a companion piece to that 5-year plan, as we have access to some modernization funding, some district funding, as well as the bond would help us flesh that out and be able to meet the matching requirements and do some larger projects at our 2 sites that are not currently eligible for modernization funding as well.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
10.2, approval of update to board bylaws 9323, meeting conduct.
Thank you. We discussed making this adjustment to our board agendas to go from individual speaker time of 3 minutes to 2. We have a board bylaw that indicated the length of time for public comments, and so we would need to adjust that bylaw in order to reflect that in our agendas as well as our practices.
Can I get a motion?
I was going to include, including the bylaw that Neil must vote to adjourn meetings, but maybe at a later time. Motion to approve?
Well, before that, I totally thought this was directed towards me. Having read the actual PDF, I understand that. Once again, you know, I don't like limiting any type of input, and I think with the discretion of the board to obviously extend it in any given circumstance, I with that condition, I do motion to approve.
Second.
Second, I'm sorry, I'll be your second.
Yeah, and absolutely, and I think it's always been our policy. I want to hear people when they come. It, you know, if we have 100 people, then 2 minutes per is, you know, still a long time. But we're always going to treat people with respect, and we want them to show up, and we want them to show up online and call in, and we want to hear you. So with that, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. We're at 14.1. The next regular board meeting will be held on August 10th, 2022. To let the public know, we very well next week on Friday we'll be having an emergency meeting just to discuss negotiations that are going on. It will obviously open in public, and then we'll be in closed session, just so that people are aware. We will obviously give the legally required public notice if indeed we end up calling a meeting for next week. But as of right now, our next regular board meeting will be held on August 10th. And if at 14.2, suggested future board items, are there anything board members would like to agendize in the future?
Just a clarification, special meeting.
Special
Emergency sounds a little different.
Well, okay.
Just special.
It's a
An
special.
unusual meeting.
I did have 2 thoughts. I think I would like to see some type of information about the summer school numbers, attendance, and type of programs that were offered. Number 2, I would like to see, I know we're offering the PD voluntarily, but I would love to see what the participation rate is and what the topics were provided for the students. I mean, to the teachers, I apologize. If, you know, if the board concurs.
Any other things?
I was just going to respond to that. I'll send out to you the flyer that went out that also has a description of each of those workshops in detail. So I'll forward that to you right now.
So moving on, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
Since we have a new board guidelines, yes, I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Elva Ariano,
Aye.
Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Sarah Turner.
Muzzle me.
Aye, so that the meeting is adjourned at 7:15, and I would really appreciate the fact that we did not have some big disaster this time. Thank you.
We'll be in person next time.
Have fun.